What's up everyone, it's Anthony from AB Fitness Center, and if you're looking to lose body fat, gain muscle, and get stronger, you're in the right place. And today I'm going to be discussing 5 guaranteed weight loss habits that you have to have in order to keep fat off forever. Okay, they are in order of importance, so please make sure you stay to the end because the last one is the most important one. And if you're a follower of mine, I'm sure you already will have known what that one's gonna be. But let's get rolling. So number 1 is, well, I guess in this case number 5, but whatever. Number 1, the first one we're gonna cover is gonna be eating more protein in the morning. In order for you to really maximize the amount of muscle that your body can put on and to really help you to change your physique, you need to be eating more protein, especially for breakfast. I think the modern, regular, normal diet, most people get most of their protein intake, I forget the exact percentage, but most of it is at night, and I guess that would assume at dinner. So usually a high protein breakfast is usually off limits for most people, but not for someone who's looking to drastically transform their physique. So having higher protein intake, especially in the morning, is gonna help you to, 1, stimulate more muscle, and 2, it's gonna help you to hit your total protein intake that you need in order to drastically change your physique. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you're gonna be making weight training part of your life. That's it, guys. That's how it goes. You don't just pick up a barbell and dumbbells and do that for 6 weeks and then stop. This is something that continues lifelong. I've been training and weight training since I am 14, 13 at this. I'm currently, it's like 20 years later. So give or take, it's a very long time. It literally has become part of my life. And that's one of those things that you need to keep in there. Remember, weight training is weight training, not just going to the gym, but actually following a progressively smart weight training program will help you to tell your body to stimulate muscle and to put more of that muscle tissue on. Remember, the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is going to be, the more ripped, toned, and everything you're going to look, and the better off people are going to notice you a lot more doing that than doing any other form of activity. So you got to make that part of your life. Number 3, bottom line, you got to be flexible with your nutrition approach. If I told you I never want you to have a carb again, and you really wanted to get in good shape, I'm sure you could do that for an extended period of time. I'm sure you could because you want the results. But it's going to come that one day where you're like, you know what? He's not looking. And then you eat everything. That's kind of the way it goes, right? So what we need to do is we need to kind of stop that and remind you that your body doesn't discriminate against foods. Your body only sees protein, calories, carbs, fats, vitamins, minerals, amino acids. It doesn't see what you eat. It just sees the amounts. So if you're flexible with your eating, you're going to be able to stick to this more longer term. And this is ultimately has allowed me to continuously, I don't want to say diet, but continuously track my intake for over 20 years. I go out to eat with my family. I have junk food. I have pizza. I have this. I have that because I'm able to fit it into my total intake. And this has allowed me to continuously make progress all this time. So again, that's going to be one of the things that you need to realize with this is that even if you're following a low carb approach right now, is that the best option for the long haul? Probably not. So again, you have to take with that what you can, but remember, if you want a piece of cake or you want pizza or you want, one of my clients was saying the other day she was craving pasta, you can have it. You can have that stuff. You just have to fit it in. So you need to be flexible with your diet choices. Number 4, and this is one of the big ones, all right? Don't rely on cardio. Don't be fooled. Cardio really only makes up 2% of the equation when it comes to losing body fat, gaining muscle, getting stronger, and ultimately transforming your body. Cardio is not the most important element despite what most people think. And most people use cardio as a crutch. We don't want that. I'm not saying it shouldn't be used. I'm not saying it's not a good tool, but don't rely on that for your fat loss. Do not. It's not something that's going to, just because you did an hour of cardio today doesn't necessarily mean you can go home and eat those same calories that you burned. It doesn't work like that. Remember, the more cardio you do, the more your body becomes reliant on that cardio, and then that becomes your new maintenance. So if you're doing an hour of cardio every day and you stall out, you're going to have to do more cardio in order to push that deficit down. So don't become reliant on just doing cardio. Don't be fooled into thinking that I need to be doing more running. And remember, when your goal is to morph your physique and change the way your body looks and to look better naked, you need to be practicing kind of what you preach. A runner's body is very different looking than someone who lifts weights. So you want to be the person that looks better naked. That's what you need to be focusing on. Weight training. Practice what you play. If I want to get better at shooting free throws, I need to practice free throws and not dunks. In a basketball analogy, we'll use that. So again, same type of thing. You need to focus on the thing that's going to transform and sculpt your body as opposed to something that's just going to help you burn X amount of calories, when majority of the time, 70% of your results are going to come from what you eat. So the nutrition is really, really important. Now, number one, you need to keep this habit long term. This is going to be the most important habit, and I'm going to shout out and call out one of my clients. I'm not going to say her name because I promised I wouldn't do that. So, number one, you need to be always tracking your food intake. There's no guessing with any of this stuff. You need to always be tracking it. And again, I'm not saying you shouldn't go through phases where you're not kind of loose with it. You know, you're going to have your phase where you're loose with it, but I always want you to come back to it, because you can never rely on what this says. So one of my clients had a weigh-in today and she did very bad. Not a good weigh-in for her. And she said, I got loose with my tracking. I was out with friends. I just got loose with it. That's what happens when you get loose with it. You start to make bad decisions. But when you have something to hold you accountable to, like tracking protein, tracking carbs, tracking fat, then you know, okay, I messed up here. I know what I did. And you know psychologically, like, I need to slow it down. You need to always have an accountable system. And I equate this to driving a car cross country. If I wanted to get into my car right now and drive to California, I'm in New York, it would be impossible for me to do that without GPS. And tracking macros is your GPS. Tracking your protein, tracking your carbs, tracking your fat, that's your GPS. That's what's going to take you to the promised land. If you don't do that, that's very, very bad. You can't guess it all the time. Like I said, you're going to have your times, especially around the holidays and things like that, where you're tracking loosely. But again, it's for a purpose. Then you need to come back, rein it in, and make sure you tighten everything up again, so this way you know. But that is the number one most important tip. You need to have that GPS in order to get you to the promised land. So you need to always be tracking. And like I said, you don't have to be meticulously doing it all the time, but you always want to be able to go back to it so you can cross-reference what you think is happening to what is actually happening, because numbers never lie. And this is why I love this system and the way flexible dieting works, because it allows you to be much more concrete with your stuff. So if you're interested in sitting down with me to strategically map out a fat loss plan for you, click on the link below and you'll find out more info there. Make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss more videos helping you to transform your physique and look better naked. Check out this video and I'll catch you guys on the next one.